I can go twice as high. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look, take a look. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look.
Greetings and welcome to Reading the Rainbow, the Reboot with Suna Bay, where I will be reading a book from my Kindle library. Today's book is going to be Manifesting with Alignment, written by Ruo Shinohara. And I'm going to start off in chapter 3, Overcoming Challenges, Making Use of 9 Desires. Every single day of our lives, we are met with some sort of challenge. The challenges we experience fall within a wide range of complexity. Some are small, easy to deal with, others are big and require more thought. A person can have the challenge of figuring out what to eat for lunch and within the same day have the challenge of breaking up with their partner. Regardless of the challenges we face, what determines the outcome is how we respond to them. In this chapter, we're going to cover how to overcome challenges effectively in order to get the most out of them. We will discover why people tend to hold on to the negative even when it's abundantly clear that it's a mistake to do so. I'm going to show you the reasons it can be easy to make the same life mistakes over and over and thus continue manifesting unnecessary challenges. When you see the less than idle events in your life for what they truly are, stepping stones to living the life you desire, you'll be ready to use them to your advantage rather than as a reason to feel sorry for yourself or your situation. This chapter probably contains the single most important message for you in this book. When you understand how the reality of challenges works, in an amazingly short period, you will find yourself witnessing a complete change in your life. Instead of stumbling back and forth on a road filled with the same pitfalls and roadblocks, you will see a new clear path that leads towards effortless manifestation of your desires. It all starts when we understand, accept, and live by principle number 3. Contrasts and challenges are always beneficial. No experience is ever limiting. Throughout our lives, we come to understand there's no such thing as a life-limiting experience. In truth, any challenge we face, which may seem like a life-limiting experience, leads us to a brand new chapter in our lives. By perceiving experiences as negative, we buy into an illusion, and unfortunately, people do this every day. Once illusions have been set aside, we see behind the veil of so-called negative experiences. When we encounter something we perceive as negative or positive, there is always something more to learn. This shows us that experiences are designed for us to learn from, not to dwell on mentally or emotionally. We are meant to gain the knowledge we need and leave the rest behind. Once we understand this, we can become aware of the underlying causes of and the effects of each of our experiences. Fear of experiencing a potentially negative outcome often arises in our lives, so we avoid stepping into a new reality and facing new challenges. Overcoming this initial fear of challenges is an essential first step. Once we get over this hurdle, growth becomes inevitable. Often external discomfort is necessary so we can break free of the jail of unconscious internal dissatisfaction. As mentioned previously, since we are manifesting constantly, we are manifesting both benefits and detriments. There could be times in which we manifest challenges consciously because they are the best next experience we need to have or to overcome so that we can evolve. For example, if you desire to be a more skillful artist, your best next experience would be to learn and master new artistic skills. However, a lot of the time, such challenges or obstacles are manifested unconsciously because we are still clinging to deeply rooted beliefs and attachments. These sorts of challenges often serve as a redirection tool to steer you back onto the path that is most fulfilling to you. When we accept challenges for what they truly are, a catalyst for growth, we're more open to self reflection and thus optimal learning more effective optimal learning. Our best teacher is our own personal experience. Taking responsibility for and accepting our personal manifestations, no matter how they come, gives us power. It allows us to embody the truth that ultimately we create our own reality. We do not control reality per se, but because we can change how we respond to the reality we are experiencing, we can redirect our life in the general direction we want to go. As a result, change our reality. Practicing this gives us significantly more responsibility, so we can ask ourselves, how can I respond positively to this supposed negative experience? In other words, how can I benefit from this experience? When we ask these questions, we improve our relationship with ourselves and with our surroundings, thus falling back into and finding alignment. Taking back responsibility is not meant to overwhelm you. It is a form of taking back your power, energy, and not allowing situations to take it from you. Remember, we are not trying to put more on our plate. Instead, we are trying to improve our ability to respond to situations when they arise from a mindful and conscious state. This way, we can protect the state of being we want to be living through. If you are feeling limited in some way, right now, there is usually a belief around a perceived limitation. I say perceived limitation because each experience in our lives gives us an opportunity to view it in a limitless way. The key is to take a perceived obstacle and look at it with the unlimited mind. This means you can choose to view yourself as a source of abundance rather than a source of limitation. When we feel stuck in an undesirable life circumstances, for example, it can mean one or two things. Either we are unaware of the many opportunities around us, or we are afraid of seizing these opportunities because they represent the unknown, and the unknown is the enemy of the ego. Navigating the unknown and non desires. We do not fear the unknown, we fear what we think we know about the unknown by Till Swan. The greatest reason people fear the unknown is where we begin making our own choices. Venturing into the unknown requires that you take responsibility for how you navigate your life, and taking responsibility is difficult for some, if not most people. Throughout our lives, we have allowed others to make our choices for us, either consciously or unconsciously. We are told to follow a path that may be good for us from the perspective of others, but most of the time, that is not true for us, nor is it what most people approach manifestation like a nervous swimmer who wants to jump into the pool but avoids the diving board. They dip their toes in first, then their ankles, etc. Once they're immersed in the water, however, they enjoy the weightless effort of swimming towards their goals. But here's a critical point. You can't compensate for a lack of vibrational renaissance simply with physical action. You may make all the right moves, but the end result will not be what you're looking for if you are not a vibrational match with the end result you want. This is what you see with so many people who are desperately following the steps that attribute to the laws of manifestation. This is also why you can take the exact same actions and get completely different results. The key here is to move forward toward your dreams with not just your actions, but also with clarity on where you are going and who you are being. When you apply these two first, the doing will come naturally. Someone can make sure that all of their tools, journal, vision boards, etc., are in place. They can place pictures of their desires all around them. They can read all the appropriate books on the subject manifestation. At the end of it all, however, they end up disappointed that the law of manifestations supposedly just do not work for them. When we desperately need, chase, or place excess importance on our goals or make excessive efforts to achieve them, we are actually building resistance against them. Someone who is whole, fulfilled, eager, excited, and in alignment isn't looking for results. The results are in their everyday experiences of becoming and manifesting. The manifestation is the natural result of them being processed and orientated. It is important to remember that the universe has no limitations, therefore we deem to be the unknown also has no limitations. It contains all of our desires, even desires that we are not yet aware of. But the unknown also contains something else, what we called our non-desires. When we are focusing on what we don't want or seeking to avoid manifesting our non-desires, the universe perceives that as a valid option for creation. The universe does not care about the meaning you give your thoughts, but the content of them. In other words, saying I want this or I don't want this sends the same signal. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Once again, the name of that book is called Manifesting with Alignment. Hope you get a better understanding of how we create our own reality, and with our thoughts and the thoughts that we image and the image we hold in our mind actually creates our reality. So see you next time for another book reading out of my Kindle library. Once again, this is the Reading the Rainbow, the Reboot. Butterfly in the sky, I can look twice the time.